Have you ever been in a relationship where the person says they love you, but something still feels off? They text you every day, call you babe or love, and seem to care, but somehow you're always the one who initiates. You're the one who waits. And when they go silent, you start to worry. Even if they say everything's fine, you don't blame them. You just feel tired of always being the one who tries harder. Real love doesn't make you guess. It doesn't require you to overthink every silence or decode every message. It shows up quietly but consistently in ways you don't have to ask for. In this video, you'll discover 6 real grounded signs that someone truly loves you, even if they're not great with words. And if you've ever wondered whether what you're feeling is real love or just the hope for it, this might be the gentle clarity you've been needing. Subscribe to the Love Equations, where you don't learn how to chase love, but how to recognize it when it's quietly, honestly showing up for you. Part 1. They show up when you need them, not just when it's convenient. True love doesn't appear only when someone has free time. Someone who truly loves you doesn't wait until they're less busy to care. Even in the middle of a full schedule, you are not forgotten. You are part of their day, not just an option they turn to when they're done with everything else. You don't have to hint. You don't have to come up with clever excuses just to feel noticed. They show up, not because you asked, but because their heart naturally leans toward you. Being present isn't about sending predictable texts. It's about being there when you're tired, being available when you don't know how to express what's going on. It's about holding space, not with solutions, but with presence. And when you say, "I don't feel okay," they don't disappear or dismiss you, they lean in. On the other hand, if you're always waiting, if they only check in when it's convenient, if they're too tired or not in the mood every time you need emotional connection, then you may be outside their circle of priority, even if they still call you someone important. Presence is the first and clearest sign of real love, because when someone truly holds you in their heart, they don't wait for the perfect moment to be there. They make space for you because they want to. Part 2, they don't make you question your self-worth. Real love doesn't make you constantly wonder, am I good enough? Am I being too much? If I show how I really feel, will they still stay? Someone who truly loves you doesn't make you tiptoe around your own emotions. You don't need to smile more, shrink yourself, or be easier to love just to be accepted. You don't need to filter every word in fear of scaring them away, because deep down you know they don't stay because you're perfect. They stay because being with you feels real. With someone who truly loves you, you don't have to fake calm when you're tired. You don't have to bottle up what you feel just to keep the peace. You don't have to become a more manageable version of yourself to earn their affection. They might not understand you fully, but they don't make you feel wrong for being honest. They won't always agree, but they won't punish your vulnerability with distance or silence. On the other hand, if you constantly feel like you need to adjust yourself to keep things going, if you catch yourself holding back your truth to avoid losing them, then maybe, just maybe, what you're trying to protect isn't love, but the fear of being left behind. Someone who truly loves you will never make you doubt whether you're worthy of love, because for them, love is not a prize you win. It's something they freely offer because they see you. Part 3. They're patient with your real emotions. You won't always be okay. There will be days when you feel off, overwhelmed, or unsure how to explain what's going on inside. And real love doesn't ask you to hide those parts of yourself. Someone who truly loves you won't panic when you're not at your best. They don't try to fix your emotions. They don't rush to label your feelings as too sensitive, too complicated, or too much. Instead, they stay, even when they don't fully understand. They stay not to change you, but to make sure you don't feel alone inside what you're feeling. They don't say things like, "You're overthinking again. Why can't you just be happy? You're too emotional." They don't try to silence you with solutions. They simply make room for what's real. Because someone who truly loves you knows that love isn't about showing up only for the version of you that smiles and shines. It's about standing beside the version that's tired, quiet, or not quite okay, and letting that version know you're still safe here. True love isn't afraid of your real emotions. It doesn't punish you for being human. It doesn't walk away when you speak your truth. Instead, it stays. So you remember that love is not earned through perfection, but welcomed through presence. Part 4. They don't make you guess. You don't need to play detective in a relationship rooted in real love. You don't have to guess what they're feeling, wonder why they suddenly pulled away, or constantly ask yourself, do they still care, or am I just imagining it? Someone who truly loves you won't leave you in emotional limbo. You won't be stuck in the space between hope and confusion. You won't spend nights rereading texts, analyzing silences, wondering if you're still important or if you ever were. Real love shows up with clarity. It doesn't ask you to chase, perform, or guess. You won't have to hold back just to stay on their good side. You won't have to message less to see if they'll message first. You won't need to create distance just to feel valued. Because when someone truly loves you, they don't play with your peace. They don't use inconsistency as power. And they don't let you sit in questions that have no answers. True love doesn't live in your mind. It lives in presence. And the person who truly holds you in their heart will not make you guess your place in theirs. Part 5. They want to know who you are, not just what you do for them. Some relationships feel like a role you're performing. You're appreciated because you're kind, supportive, available. You're the understanding one, the caring one, the one who always knows what to say. But deep inside, you're not sure if they truly know you. Your fears, your dreams, the things that shaped you, the version of you that exists beyond what you give to others. Someone who truly loves you isn't just impressed by how well you take care of them. They want to know, who are you when you're not being helpful? What makes your soul feel alive? What do you believe in even when no one's asking? They don't just love the way you love. They care about the way you heal, the way you rest, the way you return to yourself. They're not just interested in what you do, they want to meet the whole of who you are. Because real love isn't about admiring a version of you that's always giving. It's about walking with the version of you that sometimes needs to be held. Not because you're weak, but because love isn't meant to be a performance. It's meant to be a place of truth. The one who truly loves you will ask, not to interrogate, but to understand. Not to fix you, but to know you. Because they're not here to receive your best version, they're here to be present with your real one. Part 6. You feel safe around them, even in silence. Real love doesn't always feel loud, exciting, or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, but in that quiet, you can breathe. You don't have to try. You don't have to search for the right words. You don't have to entertain or impress. With someone who truly loves you, you don't feel pressure to fill every moment with conversation. You can just sit beside them, in silence, and still feel seen, understood, and safe. They don't expect you to be cheerful when you're tired. They don't need you to perform happiness to earn affection. You can be quiet, messy, thoughtful, unsure, and still feel welcomed. Because real safety and love isn't about having the perfect response, it's about knowing that your presence is enough. Even in stillness, even in your silence, you don't feel invisible. You feel held. You don't wonder, are they bored with me? Do they want someone more fun, more interesting? Because their energy answers what words don't need to. They are consistent. They are calm. They are there, not for what you say or do, but for who you are when you say and do nothing. True love gives you space to breathe, to be, to rest, and still be loved, not for your lightness, but for your presence. Healing, clarity. A gentle invitation. True love doesn't begin with grand gestures. It begins in the quiet moments, when someone shows up without being asked, when they see your worth without you having to prove it, when you feel safe, even in silence. If some of these signs resonated with you, or if you notice that you've been loving from a place of fear or doubt, this isn't a reason to blame yourself. It's a gentle invitation to return. Back to your clarity, back to your truth, back to the version of you that doesn't need to be chosen, to know they're already enough. Someone who truly loves you won't make you fight for a place in their heart. You won't have to guess. You won't have to perform. And most of all, you'll feel like you can be fully yourself, relaxed, honest, and at ease. when you're with them, because that's what love is meant to feel like. Not pressure, but presence. If you're on a journey to love more clearly, to stay rooted in who you are even as you open your heart, subscribe to the Love Equations, a space where love is no longer a chase, but a quiet recognition of what's already true within you.